The most outdated idea in today's world is this: go to school, get a job, work hard, save your money, pay your debts, and invest long-term in the stock market. That formula died decades ago. Why? Because the government prints trillions of dollars out of thin air, so saving money makes no sense. The gap between the top 1% and everyone else keeps growing, and it's not just about wealth, it's about mindset. Inside every one of us lives three versions: the poor self that fears loss, the middle-class self that craves security, and the rich self that seeks freedom. The problem is, society only teaches us how to feed the poor and middle-class mindsets, never the rich one. From childhood, we're told to chase good grades, a steady job, and a paycheck. But no one teaches us how to build wealth. Like in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, my rich dad never paid me. He said, "A paycheck is one of life's most dangerous addictions. Once you depend on it, you think like an employee forever." My poor dad, a government worker, couldn't understand that. But my rich dad wanted freedom, not slavery to money. He believed in owning time, not selling it. Entrepreneurship isn't just about business, it's a mindset. When one venture fails, you start another. You don't rely on anyone to save you. Entrepreneurs operate by different rules, different skills, different systems. I still remember my last paycheck, a $30,000 bonus from Xerox. I looked at that check and felt both excited and uneasy. A coworker told me, "You'll be back, you'll fail." I told him, "Maybe I'll fail, but I'll never come back." That's the difference, burning the bridges behind you. When failure is your only teacher, that's when you truly grow. I went years without money, without security, and that's exactly when I became sharper, hungrier, stronger. When you have nothing, you discover who you really are. Too many people focus on what's happening to me, instead of seeing the bigger picture. Every hardship hides a lesson. Every failure hides an opportunity. If you think the next 20 years will look like the last 20, you're wrong, because even your mindset has an expiration date. While most people try to get out of debt, I get into debt, smart debt. I recently refinanced $300 million in loans from 5% to 2.5%, and that move made me richer. Financial experts say avoid debt. I say learn to use it. My rich dad taught me to study real estate, not for property, but for understanding debt and taxes. Those two things make the rich richer and trap the poor. Even high earners like doctors get crushed by taxes. The rich don't trade time for cash. We build systems, create businesses, and invest in assets that generate income and reduce taxes. When the government prints more money, savers lose, workers lose, but smart debtors win. Since 1971, money itself has been debt. And education, as it stands, is obsolete. Moore's law says knowledge doubles every 18 months, meaning by the time you graduate, what you learned is already expired. That's why degrees no longer guarantee success. Banks now charge you to save money. They don't even want your deposits. There's too much cash in the system, creating bubbles everywhere. Like I've always said, savers are losers, cash is trash. If you want wealth, you must learn how to use debt and invest smartly, things you'll never learn in school. Printing money leads to inflation and taxes, the two silent killers of the middle class. And while new entrepreneurs dream of getting rich, most don't realize that self-employment still pays the highest taxes. True entrepreneurship means building systems that work without you. There is no such thing as a bad economy. There is only a weak internal economy. We all live in two economies. The external one that we can't control, and the internal one that we can. Entrepreneurs focus inward. If you believe the world is collapsing, it's because your personal economy is fragile. Real entrepreneurs control their mindset. When they fall, they rise higher. Average people fall and give up. Mistakes aren't failures, they're lessons. Each setback teaches what you didn't know. A weak one collapses at the first storm. So remember, the first job of an entrepreneur isn't managing a company. It's managing the mind. Real freedom begins only when you master yourself and when your inner economy becomes stronger than the world outside.